Hola, welcome to Entrada. I'm following in the footsteps of Nobel Prize-winning poet Pablo Neruda here on Chile's central coast. We'll visit the town he called home, sample the seafood he adored, and explore the wondrous natural beauty he celebrated in his unforgettable poems. Hola, I'm Roanna, and this is Valparaíso in central Chile, a coastal city which has inspired artists and poets for hundreds of years. Pablo Neruda lived here. He loved this place, and I'm gonna find out why. But before we start this journey, let's take a look at the map. Chile stretches 4,800 kilometers along the Pacific coast of South America, with Argentina to the east and Peru to the north. The picturesque city of Valparaíso lies nestled between the ocean and the mountains, just 50 miles west of the capital, Santiago. Valparaíso has a colorful history. It has been raided by pirates, hit by tidal waves, and rebuilt after devastating earthquakes. And that's attracted an interesting mixture of people from all across Chile who are drawn to its rugged beauty. We'll mingle with poets and artists, learn about Neruda's passion for the sea in nearby Isla Negra, meet some of his friends, and cook his favorite dish, a legendary conger chowder, in a restaurant beside his home. Pablo Neruda's second love was the sea. He was fascinated by those who make their living from its waters. For me, I just love getting up early to watch the fishermen in their brightly colored boats. They've all been fishing since well before dawn, and now it's time to sell their catch at the caleta, the local seafood market. As they bring in their bounty, the vendors compete with one another for the best specimens in a daily ritual as old as the sea. The fishermen I meet are friendly, and they proudly show me the quality and variety of their catch. And someone's always got a bigger fish. Hola, Maggie. ¿Cómo estás? Me divertí tanto sobre el muelle.
Sí, ¿te encantó?
Maggie Alarcón from Rincón del Poeta, and we're here to buy the seafood for today's meal. ¿Vámonos?
Ya, ¿quién va a querer pescadita?
Pescada fresca, reineta. Reineta, congrio.
The fish market in Valparaíso is big, noisy, and aromatic. But there's no better place to get the deliciously fresh eel we'll use for tonight's conger stew. Maggie, like all great Latin American chefs, can shop by sight alone. She can tell right away which of these eel will be the most tender and savory. Although I have to say, even watching an expert gutting an eel is not the most appetizing thing I've ever seen.
Listo.
Ay, qué bueno. ¿Necesitamos otra cosa?
No, está bien con esto, sí.
So while Maggie goes back to the restaurant to prep the fish, I'm going to meet my friend Carlos, an artist in Valparaíso. There's no better way to see a city like Valparaíso than through the eyes of an artist who's passionate about their home. Hola, Carlos.
Roana,
¿Cómo estás? ¿Todo bien?
todo bien.
This is my friend and artist, Carlos Trincado, and he's going to give me a tour of Valparaíso.
¿Y por dónde partimos?
Where should we start? How about from an artist's point of view? Vámonos.
Wow.
Carlos is known for his expressionist landscapes. His work reflects the strong, bold colors of his city. Through his eyes, you can see why Valparaíso has long attracted artists of all kinds. Valparaiso by motorcycle is a terrific way to beat the traffic. We drive through the downtown area past historic statues, 19th century European architecture, and traditional horse-drawn carriages lining beautiful parks. The city is dotted with towering lookout points. They offer a bird's-eye view of the surrounding city. From the main port, you can see the city extending up into the surrounding hills. Although Valparaiso was founded in the 16th century, Carlos tells me that much of the city that remains was built by the British in the last century. Today, Chile's parliament sits in Valparaiso, making it the only city in the Americas with a national legislature outside its capital. Valparaiso is in fact really two cities, an upper and a lower, which are connected by winding steep roads, lovely stone staircases, and 16 funicular railways. These funiculars, built in the 1880s, are still used today to move people through this unusual urban geography.
Oh, what a beautiful city.
Valparaiso has certainly captured my imagination. The blue sky and ocean air are invigorating. Looking out across the bay, you get a sense of the fascinating, colorful history of the place. The city has been a haven for poets and painters since the 16th century, and you can understand why artists like Carlos make this place home. Up next on Entrada, an authentic taste of Chile. Next, it's time for lunch. Carlos talks me into trying out a local hangout, a favorite of students and artists. It's also the best place to try one of Valparaiso's specialties, choriano, a working-class version of Chile's national dish, steak and eggs. When we walk through the door of the J. Crew Social Club, I'm immediately overwhelmed. Wall-to-wall graffiti, kitsch in every corner. The owner of the club has built up a remarkable collection of memorabilia from residents of the city. Even the tablecloths are covered in signatures, caricatures, and love poems. The owner's collection of artifacts reflects the city's maritime past. So this is choriana,
Papa frita, cebolla,
French fries, onions,
huevo,
eggs,
una rica carne
beef,
y ají.
and
Es
ají
lo
chili.
ideal para subir todos los cerros de Valparaíso.
Oh, man.
Sí.
Con las manos.
Con las manos. Con tutti.
Riquísimo. Riquísimo. The juice is delicious. There's nothing like sharing good food and conversation with a friend in one of the city's best-kept secrets. Next, Carlos takes me a few minutes up the coast of Valparaiso's beach community, Viña del Mar. Beautiful avenues lined with palm trees, wide bicycle paths along blue water, and further out, a gorgeous stretch of sand that attracts plenty of tourists. Like Pablo Neruda and Carlos, I've fallen in love with Valparaíso. Fue muy bien. Thank you for the tour. Excellent. Isla Negra, a second home to Pablo Neruda, is some 30 miles south of Valparaíso on the wild, untamed coast of Chile. The ocean plays a powerful role in his poetry, and you can see why.
La luz. Y era Gabriela, un espino crecido en el vientre con ojos de luz.
I'm off to meet up with a charming poet at a beachside cafe.
Hola, Carlos. ¿Cómo estás? Jonas, ¿cómo estás? Un placer verte.
Oh, para mí es el placer.
¿Todo bien?
Por favor, siéntate.
Gracias.
Aquí estamos.
See, no? This is my friend Jonas and favorite poet. And I can understand why all the poets come here to live. It's absolutely beautiful. Está bellísimo todo esto.
Está muy bello. Acá estamos, me pillaste jugando con las palabras y con el mar.
Jonas describes to me his love for poetry and the inspiration he finds in this beautiful coastal town. The rhythm of the sea speaks to him, as it did to Neruda. He kindly shares with me one of his poems. Behind the silence, the voice of water. She came, mysterious and alone, as if she were a rose, as if she were all floods. So true and so deep, so solitary.
Él me manda esta carta con su enfermera.
A short walk along the beach and perched high above the ocean is Pablo Neruda's house. Just a few minutes down the beach from Neruda's home is Jonas's lovely white bungalow.
The day before he died, he wrote that letter for you, Jonas.
He tells me his relationship with Neruda has been a fruitful one. It has led to a successful career and the publication of over 20 volumes of his own poetry.
Don Pablo Neruda, sí, mi amigo Pablo Neruda.
Jonas shows me his most prized possession, a letter from Neruda thanking him for his friendship and encouraging him to continue writing. What a gift. Pablo Neruda died in 1973 and was finally laid to rest here in Isla Negra. Next, I'm off to Pirque, just near Santiago, not far from the Argentinian frontier. I've come to see that most traditional of Latin American pastimes, the rodeo. Ever since the Spanish arrived in the 16th century, Chile has loved its rodeo. Today, it's second only to soccer as a favorite with fans.
Hey, Rana.
Hey!
How are you?
Hola, Andreas, ¿cómo estás?
Muy bien, ¿y tú?
Qué bueno. This is my friend Andrea Toro, here from the rodeo. He's going to show me around today. I love watching these horses.
Yeah, I can be all day here watching this.
Let's go watch the horses in action.
Okay.
Today we're watching the regional semifinals, where professional and amateur cowboys compete in several events. So, explain to me, how does this work?
Okay, first
Andreas tells me a rider works a cow across the media luna or half moon arena.
they have to go all over the half.
Oh, so they start in the half moon, then they come out into the ring.
Yeah. And they have to go all over there.
The Wasso's goal is to trap the cow at the padded section of the wall. The cow must come to a complete stop. Points are awarded based on where the horse comes in contact with the cow. So, one cowboy from the back pushes the cow, and then the other one pushes him sideways.
Yeah, that's right. One goes in the back so that the cow doesn't stop and go to that half, and the other one goes sideways so as to have a better angle to catch the. It's more easier.
Now, Andres, it doesn't look so hard.
No, it's really hard. It's really hard.
Next, it's shopping at the rodeo market. This is wonderful.
Yeah,
Everything's handmade, isn't it?
Yeah, all are handmade.
I like this saddle. This is my kind of saddle.
Carpincho
Yeah, much nicer. Papincho?
is the animal that are made.
Carpincho.
It's very fine leather.
I think I want to buy a hat.
Really?
Oh, look, he's making some.
It's good. mono.
Wow, this is handmade, huh?
Esta usted lo hace a mano, ¿eh?
Todo eso a mano, todo artesanal.
That's beautiful. First time I've ever seen a man iron, to be honest with you. ¿De qué está hecho?
Todo paje chivo, todo hecho a mano.
The hats are made with wheat, and they're all handmade. That's wonderful.
Would you like to try on?
I'd love to try one on. Gracias.
Al revés.
¿Al revés?
No, está bien, está bien, está bien.
¿Estás seguro?
Sí, está bien, derecho. Estamos bien.
Ah, so Andrea said it was backwards, but then the gentleman who made the hat said, no, women have to wear it this way. So that's great.
Ahora, jefe.
¿Y qué hacemos con esto?
You have to make
A little knot here?
Yeah,
Entonces, ¿qué piensan? What do you think? Should I buy it?
of course. You should buy it.
Of course I should buy
It's a
it.
souvenir from Chile.
Up next on Entrada, the natural splendor along the gorgeous coast of Chile. Isla Pájaros Niños is a bird sanctuary located on a peninsula off the coast of Algarrobo, a small coastal town. The area is protected by fences, and no one is allowed on the island. So I talked some local fishermen into giving me a ride to get a closer look. It was well worth it. Pelicans, cormorants, and lots of seagulls. But most interesting and funny, the Humboldt penguins, who treat the foaming ocean like a playground. What a pleasure to watch. I'm finally back after my many adventures to cook the meal with Maggie at Rincón del Poeta, which is right next door to Pablo Neruda's home. And what a beautiful home it is. What a perfect setting for tonight's meal. Smells great. We're making conger chowder, which happened to have been Pablo Neruda's favorite dish. ¿Qué tenemos aquí?
Cabezas de congrio con su especie, orégano, laurel.
So we're making the stock, which has fish head, the head of the congrio. Now, if you don't have conger, we can also use grouper, John Dory, tilefish, halibut, or red snapper. And in it as well has bay leaves and oregano, and of course salt.
Y entre tanto cocino la cebolla con
This is another part of the dish.
pimentón rojo y el paprika y aceite. Y un poquito de orégano también.
Which is a sauce containing onions, red pepper, oil, paprika, and salt as well. Smells great. The broth has now been strained and it's time to add the main ingredients. Pero entonces, ¿qué tenemos aquí?
El congrio.
Here
Sí.
is the congrio, conger fish. Maggie, todavía el pescado tiene la espinazo. ¿Por qué?
Sí, para que no se desarme, ¿ves?
Ah, cuando se cose.
Sí, para cocinarlo.
Here's a tip from the chef. Keep the spine in the fish in order that when you're cooking it, it doesn't fall apart. ¿Y qué más tenemos como ingredientes?
Ajos, salsa de ajos,
Minced garlic,
tomate
seeded and peeled tomatoes,
y papas.
and boiled and peeled potatoes.
Y vino blanco.
1 glass of white wine.
La cebolla,
Now it's time to add the sauce
Agregamos.
which we've made.
sí, todo esto acá.
¿Y todo?
Sí,
Bueno, puedes agregarlo.
ya.
¿Y yo puedo agregar esto
Sí,
también?
sí, un poquito.
Un
solamente.
poquito, como
Sí,
así.
sí,
Bueno, a little bit of garlic. ¿Todo?
sí, todo.
So about 2 cups of tomatoes.
Esto también, los congrios.
2 cups of potatoes,
Los congrios.
the pieces of fish.
Y sí.
¿Todo?
Sí.
1 cup of white wine.
Ya, esto sí.
¿Y por cuánto tiempo se cose?
5 minutos y está listo.
This will sit on the stove for 5 minutes at this point. And it looks gorgeous.
Sí.
The next step is to add the final ingredients, which are the shrimp, cilantro, and cream to the chowder. Oh, this is smelling better and better by the moment.
Ahí revolvemos.
¿Todo el cilantro?
No, un poco.
Un
solo.
poco.
Sí,
A little bit of cilantro,
un poco.
since it's a very strong.
Y la crema.
¿Todo?
Sí, la crema toda.
¿Cuánto más de cocción?
Solo 1 minuto.
1 minute left to cook at high heat. Then I'd better get ready, go wash my hands, y te veo en el comedor.
Okay.
Then we eat. Hasta pronto.
Adiós.
Up next on Entrada, join us for mouth-watering conger stew on the shores of Isla Negra. ¿No? Al lado.
Pero no, más desordenado.
Primera vez que
Muy
te
bueno.
sirve caldillo de congrio.
Sí, la primera vez. Realmente no como pescado. Pero como ella lo ha hecho, lo voy a probar.
Estar delicioso.
Conger chowder, what are you? Fresh fish, garlic, tomatoes, and potatoes too. A meal like this you cannot beat. From seat to table, let's all eat. Here are the recipes.
Qué lindo.
To make Pablo Neruda's favorite conger chowder, you'll need 4 cups of strained fish broth. Substitute conger eel with either grouper, halibut, or red snapper. For the sauce, sauté in oil 1 thinly sliced onion, 1 red pepper, paprika, and salt to taste. Add the sauce to the broth, 4 large pieces of fish, 1 clove of minced garlic, 2 cups cooked tomatoes, 2 cups chopped boiled potatoes, and 1 glass of wine. Cook on medium heat for 5 minutes. Add 1 cup of shrimp, a few sprigs of cilantro, and 1 cup heavy cream. Cook for 1 minute on high heat and serve immediately. This is absolutely delicious. For someone who doesn't like fish, I'm getting very used to this seafood thing. Music, art, poetry, ocean, waves, motorcycles, and funiculars. What a treat this has been. Y gracias, Maggie. Gracias.
Okay.
Sonia, gracias para tu hospitalidad. Good luck with your restaurant. Y Jonas, muy lindas. Muchas gracias para todo. Salud.
Salud.
Thank you.
Salud. Salud.
Neruda wrote of his second home. In Isla Negra, everything flowers. The sea flowers all year round. Its rose is white. Its petals are salt stars.